咁就 link 係放喺 chat room 啦，咁我都會放多一次喺呢個 WhatsApp 啦。咁可以過去先，咁過去都 say 個 hi 咯。13:25。Matthew 係咪啱啱入咗嚟？Matthew 係咪啱啱入咗嚟？咁我 Google Meet 未 mute 嘅。係你開 cam 啊，俾我點名先啊。阿 Sammy 啱啱入咗嚟啊，都開 cam 俾我點名先啊。好 ，Sammy OK。Matthew O 唔 OK？呢個 update 唔準咁。係 Matthew，我未見到你嗰個webcam。testing 啊 ，YouTube testing sound，YouTube testing sound。testing 啊 ，YouTube testing sound，YouTube testing sound。So is the sound in YouTube OK？ 好 Matthew 嗰個 Google Meet 嗰邊點名 OK 啦。好 ，so sound OK，thank you very much，thank you。So as you can see in the photo here, we are going to go on with chapter 8, and so we will go on with simultaneous equations with the word problems. So you can prepare the textbook for chapter 8, and also you can prepare the worksheet, the homework worksheet. I think probably this chapter 8 we will do the whole chapter worksheet as one assignment, which is the 3 pages of the worksheets will be done as one assignment, or maybe probably if we can do some of them in the lesson, then we will assign not so many of these. Okay, so it's about chapter 8. Then we will go on. But before that, maybe I first talk about some arrangements. As we have just talked about that we will have the chapter 8 in this lesson, and then in the last lesson of today, then we will do some MC practice. And therefore, in the last lesson, still you go to the Google Meet for roll call, and then you also prepare your the MC booklet for practice. I will show you what we are going to use. We will use the Junior Form 1. We will use the Junior Form MC booklet, and we will do some practices together, revision and then practices together. Okay, and then this is about today. Well, while tomorrow, I also would like to talk about some arrangements for tomorrow. Because tomorrow we will first have the M2 test on the lesson 4, and while the compulsory lesson for lesson 5, and then I would like to do a little rearrangement here, especially for those without M2, then you may take a note. Since the test for tomorrow for M2 will be a little bit long, and therefore I want to also take the compulsory lesson for the M2 test as well. And therefore, for those of you who have not who does not take M2, then you still come into the Google Meet at the compulsory lesson, and then you stay in here, and then you do some exercises by yourself. While on the other hand, those who take M2, other students who take M2, then we will take the lesson 4 and 5 together. Tomorrow is day A. Or the lesson 4 and 5 together for the M2 test. The test is a bit long here, and then so because it is across 3 chapters, and then so this is the arrangement. So make sure you understand all these. If you do not understand, please tell me now. And then if not, also if you understand, if you're okay, then also show me okay. Alright. So tomorrow the M2 lesson and also the compulsory lesson, we will take it for test for M2. While for those who do not do M2, then we will then you do some self exercise. It's just to make sure we can have enough time for tests. Alright, and then so we really begin this part. Since the lesson time is really so little, it is I know the lesson ends at 2:40, and then we have about 20 few minutes left. Okay, so we talk about some word problem example for simultaneous equation. For yesterday, we have a quick review. I mean last time, and not yesterday. Last time we have a quick review that we try to solve equations like this on the as shown in the screen here. So we try to solve equations like putting two equations together as a simultaneous equation, and then one of the equation will be a normal linear equation, while the other one will be not linear but a little bit more complicated. It is a quadratic equation. And then so our main idea is to take the linear equation and then make a subject and then substitute into the other quadratic equation by substituting this y, and then so we can solve the quadratic equation. However, according to different situation, we may get different results. For example, we can have two solutions. Then we will have two sets of x and y. While if there are only one solution, then we have only one pair of x and y. Or finally, if when we solve the quadratic equation, we got no real roots, then the original system or original simultaneous equation also has no real solutions. Alright, so this is what we have for last time. And today we try to move on to talk about how some uses in practical problems, that is in some word problems. So we begin with some questions like the ones in the homework, which is like the example 6. And again, we take quick practice 6 as a lesson example, right? And then we do it together. And then afterwards, then you can also work on the corresponding one in the homework worksheet. Maybe I also show the homework worksheet here. So this is the homework worksheet here, and then there is the 8.1 homework worksheet. And then while here the question 5 is very like the example we're going to talk about here. Okay, so back to the textbook. So we try to take this quick practice as example and to demonstrate a word problem. So very often in word problem there's something we don't know and we want to find. And then in this case, then we can use equation to help us. But if we are to use equation, then we need to have some unknowns. Therefore, our very first step will always be to let the unknowns after understanding the words. So let's understand the words. A two-digit positive integer, okay, a two-digit positive integer is decreased by 27 when its digits are reversed. So what's the meaning of it? So it's like when we have a two-digit number, just say, for example, I just make up one. For example, like I make it 81, and then if I reverse the digit, then it means it becomes 18. 81. 8 and 1, then reverse the digits, and it becomes 1 and 8, and then 18. And so when the digits are reversed, then the number is decreased by 27. That means I take the original one minus the new one, then the result will be 27. Of course, this is not the case. You can see this one is like the difference is like 60 something. So it is not this answer. But then so the situation is that the situation is like this when we reverse the digits. Okay, and so we want to find the original number. Okay, and then in each of the following cases, that means these two are separate cases, and then we do it one by one. So maybe I do the part A, and then you take some time and do the part B. So the product of two digits is twice the sum of the two digits. And so before we begin working on it, we first understand how the reverse of digit work when we want to work with unknowns. Alright, so we of course our final target is to find the original integer. That means we want to find the original number, and then so we can let the original number. But well, since this is about working with the digits, then if we just let x be the original number, it is very difficult for us to work on, for us to go on our work. Therefore, we better let the digits one by one. For example, we can let x to be the tens digit and y be the units digit. Tens digit 即係個位數，10位數啊 ，units digit 即係個位數啊。And then so we can let x and y separately to represent that number. Therefore, for part A, we can let x be the tens digit and y be the units digit. And then so that means the number it represents will be x followed by y. Okay, and then how do we represent it in an equation or in a calculation? Then the original number is the original number will then be how will it be? It will be that so let's see how it is done. 81. Then we can separate it as 80 plus 1, which means the first digit 8 times 10, and then the second digit just add it up. And then therefore, so the original number we can make it into so the first digit and then times 10, add to the second digit. And the same here, if the original number is x, y, then then it is represented in a calculation by 10x plus y. And therefore, I work away something here to free the spaces. So when we reverse the digit, so reversed, the reversed number will then be 10y plus x because we interchange x and y. Okay, and then so next, in the first case, the product of the two digits is twice the sum of the two digits. And then now we can work with the digits now. So the product of the two digits means xy. Okay, and then is twice the sum of the two digits. Then it is twice the sum of the two digits. Therefore, it is one of the equation. Okay. On the other hand, since when we reverse the digit here, it is decreased by 27. We can write the second equation. Okay, and also the second equation will be reverse the digit gets smaller by 27. Therefore, the original one is equal to the new one plus 27. Okay, so this is the new one. I put some remark here. It is the original one, and this is the new one. And so we have the two equations. And then having two equations, then we can solve just like what we did in the last lesson, and then we can get the answer. Okay, so I don't say so much, and then let's just take 1 or 2 minutes and then try to finish this. Okay, so we try to rearrange both equations. So maybe I work with the linear one first because this one has x and x times y. It seems more complicated. So we work with the right hand side first, the right one first. And then so I try to put x on one side. Therefore, 10x minus the x on the other side. Therefore, it is 9x. On the other hand, y and then minus 10y. Therefore, minus 9y. And then numbers, maybe we keep it on the other side because later we may make subject easier. And so just 27. And making the subject, okay, this time maybe making the x subject will be easy. And by the way, you can also see all are 9 multiple. Then we can cancel away. Make simplification. And finally, then we have x equal to y plus 3. This is an equation 1. While the other equation, it is about this is about x and y. Therefore, we try to first remove the bracket of the right hand side, 2x plus 2y, and then next we try to substitute this result into here, and then so sub 1 into here, and then so we will have y plus 3 and then y equal to 2y plus 3 and then 2y. Then simplify more, so expand the left hand side y square and then plus 3y. On the right hand side, expand also 2y plus 6 plus 2y. And we see it is a quadratic equation, therefore we try to make a quadratic equation form and press calculator and help us get the answer. So it is a y square and then 3 minus 2 minus 2, therefore negative 1, so minus y. And then 6 also put the other side, and then so minus 6, and then finally then we can have the y. And then therefore by pressing calculator, y, the formula for the quadratic formula or the formula 0, 1, then we have y equal to 3 or y equal to -2. And therefore final, and we also give the conclusion here. So when x is y, when y is 3, then x is put it back into the equation for x, and therefore x is 6. While when y is -2, then x is put it back into the equation here. Y is -2, then x is 1. And so after solving it, and then we try to see. This is also the special thing about working with word problem, because in word problem there is a situation behind, and therefore you must check, can this work with the original situation? Can this work with the original situation? Okay, so we check one by one. So when y is 3, x is 6, then it means that the original number is 63, 6 and 3, x and y. That means 6 and 3. And so it is okay. But what about the other one? The other one we have -2 here and 1, and therefore we cannot make a -2 in a digit. The digit can only be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, but not -2. And therefore this one we have to reject it because we have a negative number. And so we can say the original number is 63 because x is 6 and y is 3. Okay, so this is the part A. Okay, any questions? So if you have questions, please feel free to say it. Or either you may say in the chat room, or you can go to Google Meet and say something, because I just mute the mic for Google Meet, but I'm still here. I'm still there. Also, if there are no question, you please also do the part B and take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes and try to do the part B. For part B, you can keep these because you can keep the previous parts. I mean, you can keep the first few steps because it is still about reversing the digits, and these parts are for reversing the digit. Then you can still use it. But then the other condition will be different. It is about the sum of squares of the two digits is 65. Therefore, you can keep the first part, but then start working with the second part. Also, let's check our answer at about like 32 maybe. Well, let's check our answer at about 32. And then I will also at the same time do this quietly. So I will take some space on top maybe to work with the part B. And so we need to have a x squared y squared equals to 65. And we can still keep these parts. So sub 1. And do expansion. If there are any questions to these either of the parts, please feel free to say. Please feel free to ask. And if you have already finished, of course, then you can see the screen for answer checking. Or another way to do is a very good way to check answer is to take your final answer, put back into the question and see is it really work. For example, you calculate 74 in part B. then you try to do 74, reverse the digit and see is it decreased by 27, and also check the sum of squares of the digits, is it 65. It is also a good way to check answer, because you cannot refer to answer at the back when it is exam or test. Then you can still have some good ways to check answer. Also, this will be one of the questions, and probably since the time is so short, we can only talk about 2 examples altogether. And the other one, maybe we do the one in the worksheet. So we wait until 32, and then so we go on. Okay, so then we go on to another one. So maybe we can work together on the worksheet problem. So we go to the chapter 8 homework worksheet. And then this first one, the question 5 again here. So this is the chapter 8 worksheets. The question 5 here is very like the example we just did. And then therefore, so we leave it for you. And let's maybe do the question 6 together in the homework worksheet. We do the question 6 together in the homework worksheets. And so it is. I think this question is a bit complicated. Then and also we have to be careful when we work with it. Also, in the figure, a square of side 2 cm is cut away from each corner of a rectangular cardboard, which means this is the original cardboard. Our original cardboard is a rectangular in shape. It's a rectangle, and so in the rectangle we cut away the 4 corners. Cut away squares of a side 2 cm in each of the corner, and the remaining part will be in this shape. The remaining part, that means the solid line, is then folded along the dotted lines to form an open rectangular box. So it is folded along these lines. So we try to fold this up, fold this up, fold this up, and fold this up, and then to make this box. If the perimeter of the net of the box is 56 cm, by the way, here the net means before folding. The paper before folding, it is a net. 即係摺紙樣啦，如中文名就係。The net means the paper before we fold it. The perimeter of this net is 56 cm, and the capacity of the box is 192 cubic cm. The capacity of the box, that means after folding, then this can hold 192 cubic cm things. And find the dimension of the base of the box. So we want to find how big is the base of the box. That means the dimension. Dimension means how big is it. And then for dimension, we usually write like this. If it is a dimension, then usually we write x cm times y cm. But we don't need to calculate the answer. We just write x cm times y cm. Alright, so we really let this to be the dimension. Okay, let the dimension of the box be x cm times y cm. That means one of the side is x and then the other side is y. And therefore, before folding, then this will be x and this will be y. Because this is folded up, folded up, folded up, and folded up, then it becomes, this x becomes here, and this y becomes here. And on the other hand, the height too comes from the corners cut away too. Okay. And so this is the letting unknown, and then we start using the information. So the capacity of the box is 192 cm cubic cm. Then we can write the equation. It is a rectangular. It is a cuboid box. Then just multiply everything together. xy2 will be equal to 192, and simplifying we have xy equals to 96. It is equation 1. But this equation has got x times y, therefore we try to work with the other one. And then we also see the other information, the perimeter of the net of the box, okay? And then therefore we try to check the perimeter before folding. And before folding, we see that this is x, and the two cut away corner is 2 and 2. Therefore, the total length here will be, I mark it better. The total length here will be x plus 4 because it is plus 2 and plus 2. On the other hand, the other side, it will be y plus 4 because it is y plus 2 again. Okay, and therefore, we can put the perimeter. The perimeter means just adding up all the lines, but it's just like what I think you have also did it in primary school, that we can put this side here, and then we can put this side here to make it a complete rectangle. Okay, so we can push the sides to make it a complete rectangle. Okay, also here, and also here. And then on the other hand, also here, and also here. Then we can make it into a complete rectangle. But remember, only do this for perimeter. Don't do this for area. We cannot do this for area because you are making it really bigger. But for perimeter, it is okay because you just move the lines. So for perimeter, this is okay. Then okay, we go on. And then the other one will be x plus 4 plus y plus 4, and then times 2. The perimeter for rectangle is 56. And then simplifying, then we have okay, we can divide the 2 to the other side first. That it becomes 28. And the other the bracket inside will be x plus y plus 8. And to make the subject, then probably it will be y equal to negative x plus 20. Then it is equation 1. And finally, I mean the solving part, sub 1 into 2. Then we will have x times y, but the y is minus negative x plus 20, therefore negative x plus 20, x times y equals to 96. And going on with the calculation, negative x squared plus 20x, and then minus 96 equals to 0. Then you can, from here, you can see it is a quadratic equation and start doing the quadratic formula with the calculator. And it seems that x is 12 or x is 8 because 12 times 8 is 96 and 12 plus 8 is 20. Alright, so after having the x, then we also find the y. So when x is 12, the y is, according to the formula for y, the equation for y, then it is a negative 12, so y is 8. And then when x is 8, incidentally, it's just a reverse of x and y. And that means there's that those are the same size, same dimension. And therefore our conclusion, so in fact they refer to the same pair. It's just 12 8 and 8 12, same pair. And then our conclusion, the dimension of the box, we let it to be xcm times ycm. Then we can conclude it with the dimension. Therefore the dimension of the box is 12 cm times 8 cm. When we write answer for dimension, we don't need to calculate the result. You don't need to calculate and become 96 square cm. No need, because it is about how long and how wide it is. And so we just write 12 cm times 8 cm. Okay, so that's it. Any questions up to here? So we just do the two word problems about simultaneous equation. Okay, so if there are any questions, I see time is almost up, and then so we will see you again in the last lesson. And while in the last lesson, we will work on the MC problems for the test of next Tuesday. Okay, so we will work on that. On the other hand, I will also talk about something following the chapter 8, following this section, after this section. Okay, so just need to write one case in the answer. Yeah, because you just need to write this one, because 12 cm times 8 cm is the same as 8 cm times 12 cm. It's just the different direction of the rectangle. Okay, so it's either this or this. You can refer to the lower corners, see my screen. It's either this or this, and they are the same size. Therefore, you don't need to write the other one. Alright, so that's it. So we'll see you again at in the last lesson. So goodbye.